It is an honor to be here tonight alongside many colleagues, my counterparts, my fellow award recipients. As the Peace Islands Institute once again recognizes the work of law enforcement and our public safety partners and community members, each of us trying to work in our own way to make our world a better place, to make our little corner of the world a safer and more inclusive place. I think I speak on behalf of my fellow award recipients, though, when I say that we certainly wouldn't consider ourselves heroes. I know I'm here to receive this award in my name, but I'm certainly here representing all of the men and women of FBI Philadelphia. Because we don't wear that label of heroes comfortably. We're just individuals whose path in life happened to lead us to public service. We want to find a job with moral content, to be part of something bigger than ourselves. I thought the FBI director, our director, Christopher Wray, put it beautifully recently when he talked about public service just last week at the University of Michigan, and how it doesn't have to affect dozens or hundreds of millions of people to be meaningful. That it's meaningful, even as mentioned earlier, if you affect one person one day. Because Director Wray said all public service requires is a commitment to the pursuit of justice for every American for as long as it takes. I want to speak a little bit about my own career that Rob mentioned. I've been very, very fortunate in my career. And I'm coming up to my 23rd anniversary in the FBI, which is unbelievable some days because it goes really quick. But my career in public service started when I graduated from the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia in 2000. My first field assignment was to the New York office. I grew up in New York on Long Island, so I was happy to return home. And I ended up on a squad working counterterrorism, and I loved my job. I loved my colleagues, I loved the mission of the FBI, and I loved the camaraderie that I felt every day among my colleagues. Every day as a new agent, I felt honored and proud to be a part of the FBI. And that feeling only grew when 3 months into my assignment on a counterterrorism squad, as Rob mentioned, 4 different passenger jets were hijacked and crashed in New York, in Arlington, Virginia, and here in Pennsylvania. So many people have pointed to September 11th, 2001 as a turning point in our history, much like the invasion of Normandy or the assassination of John F. Kennedy. September 11th is certainly a turning point for America and for us as Americans. It was certainly a turning point for the FBI on that day too. As we recall on that horrific day, thousands of innocent people, and unfortunately many more since due to illness related to 9/11, lost their lives at the hands of terrorists, evil, twisted, and psychopathic in ways that we as a country in America had never before witnessed or realized. As an FBI agent in New York, I was brand new that day. I responded to the World Trade Center with some colleagues. And of course, unfortunately, there was not much we could do that terrible day. But over the next decade, and ever since 9/11, has come to define my job, first as one of the case agents on the investigation into the attacks, and today as Special Agent in Charge here in Philadelphia in an FBI that looks profoundly different than it did before 9/11. Today's FBI reflects changes in every program we work, every investigation, and every community we serve. Those changes continue to impact and shape the FBI as we seek to combat new and emerging threats that are coming towards us every day, and new and emerging adversaries who are after us. Among other things, the Bureau has learned to be a lot more proactive and forward-leaning. After 9/11, we had to assess our priorities and the best strategies to address them in a post-9/11 world. I'll tell you, from September 12th on, from September 12, 2001 on, to this day, the importance of partnerships has grown exponentially, and it's become a bedrock principle of the FBI's overall strategy. It became clear, first in the counterterrorism space, and then beyond that, our partnerships with state and local law enforcement were key in recognizing and responding to all manners of threats. Because our partners in state and local law enforcement are the ones out there on the streets, knowing their neighborhoods much better than we can, knowing what's going on and why in their communities. All those eyes and ears on the ground are certainly a force multiplier for us. These days, the FBI is the first to recognize, and in fact, we try to shout it from the hilltops, that we can't do our job without those law enforcement partners. Many of them literally sit shoulder to shoulder with our agents, analysts, and professional staff in our field office squad rooms. And here in Philadelphia, not only here in the city, but in our 8 satellite offices around eastern Pennsylvania and southern New Jersey, our 45-county area of responsibility. And those task force officers are part of an alphabet soup of task forces, combating everything from terrorism to drug trafficking, gang violence to cyber violations, organized crime to child sexual exploitation. At the end of the day, in the face of what seems to be sometimes seemingly unlimited threats, everyone in law enforcement has to work together with our limited resources, because we have to make the most of our respective capabilities, our resources, because cooperation is key. And this task force model, where we sit shoulder to shoulder working together, has proven more effective than any of us could have hoped for. These connections we've built deepen by the day to the benefit of all of our respective agencies, and ultimately to the benefit of the public. Collaboration with our community partners is equally imperative in this day and age, because we share common goals: a safer world for our families and a commitment to the freedom that we hold so dear in this country. For various reasons, as we know, law enforcement often runs up against obstacles and walls that form between us and the communities that we serve. But to break down these walls, we must do our absolute best to speak clearly, to speak honestly, and to see clearly with the people that we serve. And we must work to carve out opportunities to show the communities who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do. Because earning and maintaining that public trust, it's a process, and one that no one in law enforcement should take for granted. Through the FBI's community outreach efforts, on a daily basis, we're seeking to establish and strengthen our ties with religious and civil organizations, with racial and ethnic groups, with schools and nonprofits, and others around our region. Because the goal of these relationships is to exchange ideas and to dispel misunderstandings, to become more aware of our respective resources and our needs, and to build contacts within our organizations and communities. In the FBI, we like to do this through face-to-face meetings, as we all do, now that we can in the post-COVID world. And initiatives like our Citizens Academy, and I know we do have a few graduates of our Citizens Academy here tonight. This is an 8-week program that we hold here in FBI Philadelphia annually to give community leaders a personal introduction to the mission, the capabilities, and the people of the FBI. We host an annual Teen Academy as well to demystify the Bureau for young people. Maybe even spark some interest in a career in law enforcement in the future. I'm talking to you, cadets. Agents and our community outreach team also work with kids at schools, giving presentations on important topics like drugs and human trafficking, sextortion, and other cyber crimes. Because all of this community engagement, and connection with the public is vital. Because if we don't do that, if they don't know us, we risk losing that trust and that confidence. I'm so thankful for groups like the Peace Islands Institute who are working to help bridge the gap. The philosophy of bringing together different points of view and emphasizing mutual respect. Thankful for the excellent connection that I have here in Philadelphia with partners, the Philadelphia Police Department led by Commissioner Outlaw, with the Pennsylvania State Police, with the City of Philadelphia, and all of our fellow law enforcement and public safety partners throughout the region. I'm thankful for the wonderful community engagement with the public that I've experienced since I've been back here in Philadelphia. And I say back here because I'm a proud Villanova graduate, so I'm happy to be back in the area and cheer on my Wildcats. And I'm grateful for the warm relationships that have formed here over the past year. All of us working together for the benefit of all, just as it should be in law enforcement and public service. Again, it's an honor and pleasure to be with you all here tonight. Thank you for the award on behalf of my team at FBI Philadelphia. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. And congratulations to all my fellow nominees. I'm honored to stand beside you tonight. Thank you.
So, I have two responses to that presentation. First of all, It's not a song. It is not a song, no. You're right to be afraid. You're right to be... Here we have the special agent in charge of the FBI afraid of me. I just want to point that out. But you have been in the FBI for 23 years. I can't remember when I was in law enforcement for 23 years. That's how long ago it was. So anyway, I wish you a very, very long career. The other thing I wanted to say is that one of the things in the Special Agent in Charge's resume is she got 2 John Marshall Awards from the Department of Justice. Now, having been in the Department of Justice for more than 30 years, that's the highest award you can get. And I should know because I've never gotten it. As a matter of fact, for those of you who remember that old soap opera, Susan Lucci, I was nominated twice, didn't get it. So I didn't get it. She's gotten it twice. So, on behalf of the Peace Islands Institute, I want to congratulate you on your lifetime of extraordinary service and being the recipient of the Public Heroes Appreciation Award. It's presented to you this night. I don't know if you want to take a picture. Got it? And this is for you. Okay. And there's also, dun, 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 this will take me about, got it. See that? I'm going to read it in multiple languages. This is from the Senate of Pennsylvania. I'm not going to read it in multiple languages. I'm not going to read it at all. This is congratulations, and it's I'm just going to read the first part. The Senate of Pennsylvania takes great pleasure in recognizing those citizens who, through dedication and excellence, contribute in a meaningful way to the well-being of their communities and ultimately to all the people of this great Commonwealth. And whereas Jacqueline Maguire is being honored by the Peace Islands Institute during its 2022 annual Public Heroes Appreciation Dinner, and you can read the rest later. So this